Hey, welcome all you rebels out there. Welcome to another episode of Crack Dice Gaming. With you,
Yes,
you
sir.
have good old Captain Shekaka, and with me, I have
Donovan. Chick Donovan in the house. Yes, sir.
Chicky D. All right, Chicky D. Hey,
Mhm.
so we're gonna be talking a little bit about some tier list here. It's
Not
gonna
a
be
tier
like tier
list. Not a
list
tier list.
going into the next set. So like not tier list, but like what's the best hero ability for those heroes going to the next set? So
Yeah, so
like the current
essentially
heroes we have.
what we're doing is from set 1, we're going to be ranking their front side abilities as to how desirable they are going into the hypothetical set 2 meta. For
Yeah,
example, you might say, "Oh, I don't like Luke's front side ability because he gives out shields, which are upgrades, and in this next set people are going to be probably running a lot of upgrade hate." So that's just an example of something that might run through your head in this. It's a little different, little unique. But before we get started, we're going to guess each other's top 3. What are the top 3
all right.
that you think I put? Captain Shekaka, what do you think?
The top three, you put Han for sure. Han,
At what spot?
Sabine.
Han?
Uh, I
Han
think
at
you
1?
put. I think if you put Han at 1,
Mm-hmm.
Sabine at 2, and Boba Fett 3.
Interesting. I guess that you put Sabine at 1, Boba at 2, and good old Chewbacca at 3. That's my prediction for Captain
Not even
Shikaka's
close.
top
Not
3.
even
Oh,
close.
we'll find out. We haven't seen each other's list, so it'll be a live
Not even
reaction.
close.
So let's get right into it. First off, at number 18, I got Harrison Dula.
Yeah, Hera. Obviously,
Hera,
Hera. She stinks.
Hera.
That's
No,
good.
we don't need to talk about it anymore. On to 17.
Yeah.
I'll let you tell the people what you had first. What'd you have?
Grand Inquisitor.
Grand Inquisitor?
Yeah,
What?
Grand Inquisitor.
What?
Yeah.
I had Palpatine.
Yeah.
Grand Inquisitor.
Palpatine? All the way down at number 17?
His front side ability is terrible.
I don't know about that.
Oh man, this is already getting spicy. You had Grand Inquisitor at 17. Have you seen any of the new cards? Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I don't think he's going to be that good still. I just don't think he's that good. I don't think his ability is that great.
I think his ability is really good. I think what stops him from being good is he deploys on 6 and he's a 3/6. But that front side ability, I think it's pretty good. Interesting. Folks in the comments, go
Maybe.
off on Captain
Yeah.
Shikaka, I guess.
Um, um, uh, I don't know. I
Better the second worst ability in the game. Interesting. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. All right, let's keep it going. Let's get past the trash so we can get to the treasure. Number
yeah,
16. I'll take it.
I got.
I'd
I've
Cassian.
got. I got Thrawn.
Thrawn at 16. Okay.
Thrawn at
I'd
16.
Thrawn a
I just,
little higher up, obviously.
I
But
just hate his ability. Like
I do too.
even if he is good, I just hate his ability so bad. If I could put him at the last one, I would, because I just think it's the most trash ability. It's just so annoying to play against.
I
It's like
I
playing
agree.
against a mill deck or something stupid.
I agree. It's not a fun one to play against. Okay, so I had Cassian at 16. You had Thrawn at
Yeah,
15 or at 16. On to 15. IG88.
I have Cassian.
Cassian. Okay.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
down the list. He's down the
yeah.
list.
It's crap ability.
You have still yet to mention Palpatine, and I'm wondering when he's gonna come up. I'm getting a little nervous here. Getting a little nervous.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
All right, so number 14, are we at?
Yep. What'd you have?
I got Palpatine, 14.
Palpatine. I had Jin. Jin Urso for me.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I like
yeah,
Jin, but I just don't think she's very good.
yeah. Her
So
ability's mediocre. Yeah, for sure.
yeah. So one of
All
the
right.
things that I was ranking, I had like 4 sort of criteria that played big into my ranking. Was one, is it static? Is it just always there? Do I have to take an action to use it? Because if it's static, you can,
Yeah,
get the initiative back. Again, like I
yeah,
said, takes an action, like Sabine's ability takes an action. is it self-contingent, right? For example, Luke's ability is contingent on what you do, whereas like a Boba Fett's ability is contingent on if your opponent plays a unit. Iden Versio, her ability is contingent on if your opponent plays a unit. So that's some of the criteria that I was also factoring in. You also factored a bunch of that in, I assume?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay. On
My
to
number 13.
13. Yes.
So
Iden.
I got IG-88 at 13.
Okay. I had Iden, my least favorite hero in the game. I had to do a hate pick there. Is she
Huh.
probably better than 13? Her ability? No, it's terrible. Just prolong the game, run the clock. That's what you
Yeah.
get if you play Iden. It's like Thrawn. It's like Thrawn. But the reason
I put
Thrawn
it,
is higher on my list, and I'll get to him when time comes.
I put IG-88 higher because of all the bounty stuff coming out. Even though
Okay.
like it doesn't affect with his ability, but on the front side he's a bounty hunter, so there you go.
Okay.
I
Sure.
guess
Sure.
the bounty stuff could be really good. I don't know, and I'm really interested to see what what's his name.
Musk.
Yeah. Who's the I can't I just drawn a blank on his name. The reptilian bounty hunter.
I just said it, Bosk.
Oh, Bosk. Yeah, I didn't hear you say it. Yeah,
Mhm.
Bosk. Like, I'm really interested to see what his ability is going to do. I think it's going to be kind of broken, honestly, be able to do double bounties.
It could
Like,
be
if you,
good.
especially like against a Sabine deck or some of these little low cost deck with these little tiny one cost characters you can
Hmm.
ping off on a bounty and be able to do that twice, depending on what those bounties look like. I think it could be really good. So we'll see.
Yeah. Uh, it is contingent on your opponent playing units, and we know from these like Vader control decks that they don't play units, so that's a
That's
bit of a tough
true. That's
matchup
true.
there. So if you can dodge those, I think you'll be good. But
Yeah,
anyways,
we'll see. We'll see.
let's keep going down the list. Number 12, what'd you have?
Jin.
Jin? This is where I
Yeah.
had Thrawn Diddy. This is where I had Thrawn Diddy.
Oh, number 12. Hey,
I
kind of
I
high.
don't
I got lie.
I don't like Thrawn's ability, but like going into this next set, lots of upgrades. Lots of upgrade leaders and whatnot, and like the Mandalorian, like not Fenral, what's his name? Gar Saxon. You throw if you're throwing upgrades on guys, exhausted a guy with upgrades is pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah. 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 I
So
suppose. Yeah. It could be pretty good. Yeah.
there we
Yeah.
go.
If you're throwing
So
upgrades on guys instead of throwing guys out. Yep. But then you're going to then
so
you go against a Jin deck and you get, or not Jin deck, you get against a Sabine deck and get wasted.
yes, to this point we have all the same leaders except you mentioned Grand Inquisitor and I
Yeah.
mentioned Iden. So there's only one difference in our top 11 at least, which is good. Look at us. Great minds
Yeah.
think
Hey.
alike.
Hey, there we go.
Great
There we go.
minds
There
think
we go.
alike.
There we go. There we go.
Speaking of 11, what'd you have? What'd you have?
It's Sabine. Sabine number
Sabine
11.
at 11. Okay. Okay. That's
Yeah. I just don't think, I think like if you just take a raw ability, I don't think it's that great because you're doing a damage to you and damage to yourself. I just
yeah.
don't like, man, like I get it. Like with her aggro cards, she's really good, but just the raw ability, I don't think it's. I mean, because if it was just a damage to your opponent, yeah, that'd be great. But it's a damage to both of you, so
Mhm.
like I don't see where you
Yeah.
gain anything against if you're just talking about just the raw ability.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know if she's going to be that great coming to this next set. I think she's going to be toned down in this next set, to be quite honest.
I tend to agree, and when we get to Sabine, my Sabine pick, we'll talk a little more about Sabine. Oh, I didn't even click the thing. At 11, I had Darth Vader. So,
Vader, ooh, wow,
Vader at
I'm
11.
surprised.
Yeah. Again,
Oh, like it.
it's you got to have the resource available. It takes an action. You have to have played a villain card that phase, and your opponent has to have a unit on the board. There's a lot of conditions there to meet. That's and it's
Well,
one
can't you still do the action even you can still do the damage to their base even if they don't have a unit, right? You can do
but
all that you
then you
can.
got to do one to your own unit, which is
Not if you don't
not.
have not if you don't have a unit on the board. Of course, you got to play a unit, I guess. But then you can play like super laser tag, get rid of your super laser tag, resource it, blah blah blah.
Mhm. That is good. That is good, but I just I
Yeah,
don't know,
I
and
see
it
what you're saying.
it, co-
I
it
see what
costs
you're
a
saying.
whole resource and takes an action. That's not
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah, I see what you're saying.
So, and I mean, I look at like I don't know. It just whenever I play Vader, his ability, it's like why would I want to play like a 3-drop and do his ability instead of play a 4-drop? So not a bad
Yeah, I
ability
get it.
by any means. It's gonna stay consistent into the next set, I think, because I think there'll be more unit-based decks that actually play units instead of just events. So I think it'll still be a good ability. But now,
Yeah.
coach, we're in the top 10. Who we top 10 abilities in the game.
All right,
Who's
top
number
10. Here we
10?
go.
Top 10.
I got
Top 10.
Iden. Iden as number 10.
Iden at 10. I had
Yeah.
Tarkin at 10. I had Tarkin at 10.
Tarkin, really? Wow, I'm kind of surprised. You don't think
Yeah,
this
I
like giving
just
you the experience tokens is a good ability, man?
this is see once we hit like Vader at 11 and up, it got really tricky. They were all like good abilities, especially going into
Yeah,
the next set. I think that's where it was like, oh man, where do I put these guys? Like I love Tarkin's ability. Maybe I should have had him higher, but I decided to throw some respect on some people I shouldn't have thrown respect on. And very interesting note. As of right now, we both still have Chirrut on the board, and Chirrut's frontside ability currently in the set 1 meta is regarded as one of the worst abilities. So that's very, very
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so Iden at 10, nothing to talk about. No one likes Iden. Moving on to number 9. What'd you have, Coach?
So I had Chirrut at number 9.
Chirrut? I had Chewie. Chewie at number 9.
Chewie, come on, he's better than number 9. He's not number 9.
Okay, I
It's always
was
on. It's always a Sentinel.
for the phase.
I
It
think
has to be 3 or less, and you have to play it from your hand. Uh,
and
so I think here's the thing. I think it could have went higher up, honestly. I could have went up to like top 6 or 7. I think it's a good ability. The only problem is it's on Chewbacca, a terrible unit, and like it just is not good. Like it's on a late game blue hero, but like blue hero's late game doesn't compare to green villain's late game or blue villain's late game. So like it's kind of pointless, you know. And
I don't know about that. Yeah, okay.
yeah, it's a I like the ability. I like the ability. I think it's actually a really good aggro eater ability, just not on Chewbacca with his stats and his cost. Number 8. Number 8.
So for number 8, I had Darth Vader.
Darth Vader
Again,
at 8.
I just always
I had
I hate
Sabine.
again. I agree. Like I think one of the problems with Vader is it's. I mean, the one damage is great. You know, one and one is great, but like I just hate things that are so conditional. Like you have to have this done, you have to have this, and you have to have this. If you don't have all those things, you can't use the ability. So I think abilities that are kind of conditional like that are I don't know, just not like just the raw ability is not great, honestly.
Yeah, it's a I touched on Vader. It's a good ability. It's always there. Sometimes ping damage is really good. Like sometimes you just need that one
Yeah,
extra damage to get over the hump. But here's here's
yeah.
here's
Get
what I
rid of their
want to say
shield.
about
So you
Sabine.
can swing for 8 damage or whatever instead of it
Yeah.
just soaking into a shield. Yeah,
Yeah, pinging shields and whatnot, that's also pretty good. Here's the thing with Sabine. Sabine, I think, is gonna fall off as the game goes on. Especially like in set 2 and then especially in like set 3. Because here's why. I was thinking her ability only works good if she is the fastest, right?
yeah,
If
yeah,
Kylo Ren, right, the other most aggro leader that we've seen so far, he kind of likes Sabine's ability. Like that kind of works for him too. So Sabine's ability is
yeah,
working for both sides, whereas
yeah,
Kylo's ability is just working for him. So
yeah,
Kylo's going to get value out of his ability, and Sabine's ability is just going to do the same thing, but also take up an action. So if you're playing like the Sabine Kylo matchup, and you're both like equally as fast, it's not going to benefit you to do Sabine's ability. So I don't know. And then like if there's a deck faster than Sabine, she's just never going to win because she's never going to be able to do her ability.
yeah.
Because then she's just going to
Well, I
speed the
just
other player up.
I just think that some of the new cards coming out that are giving you like the Razor Crest and you let you bring upgrades back and things like that. Be able to put a Sentinel down because Sentinel just shuts her down, right? So if you can, if
Yeah.
you can get around their
Infiltrator skill.
spec force,
Infiltrator skill.
well, you get around their spec force of their traders, and you even said yourself, hey, there's a lot more things to get rid of those kind of things. So in this next set, getting rid of upgrades, so you can put that traders on, but as soon as you do it, it could be taken right off. So I don't know. That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
It'd definitely be
I don't know.
interesting.
I'm very interested to see how Sabine performs in the set 2 meta. Obviously, she's still going to be great against control decks.
Yeah.
And also decent against mid range, but like how does the Kylo matchup work out for her? Even the new Landa leader who deploys on 4, if he gets some other good cards, how does she match up against that? Because her ability, it might be like taken off the board, just because it's not going to help you a lot. Like even in like a Leia matchup right now, like her ability feels bad to do. So
Yeah, yeah. I think my only caveat with that going into the next set is the fact that the game itself benefits Sabine because you're doing best of threes. Um, that benefits Sabine. It just does.
yeah,
You'll get all three
it
games in.
benefits aggro. Yeah.
Yeah. And well, right now she's the most aggro character. Now, granted,
Yep.
Kylo might be more aggro than her, but she's still going to be one of the most aggro characters because she'll still get good cards that are going to make her more aggro. So, I mean, like I said, if it was a different format, I would put her a lot further down. But because of this format that it's in right now, the
Mm,
current state of the game, unless they make some sweeping changes to it, she'll still be in the top somewhere. Maybe not
I
S
agree.
tier, but she'll probably still be A tier.
Yeah. She's gonna stick around.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're getting into the top 7. Enough of Sabine. Enough of the Sabine talk. People are already clicking off. What would you what'd you have for 7? What'd you have for 7? Let's hear it.
Uh, I had Krennic. Krennic at top
Krennic
7.
at 7. Okay.
Yeah.
Luke
Yeah.
Skywalker for me. Bam.
Yeah. I wasn't sure about him. I kind of went back and forth with Luke if I should put him lower or higher. I
Yeah.
mean, some of the new cards that kind of deal with like pinging shields to do stuff and things like that. That's why I kind of think maybe he might be a little higher. I don't know. It's
Hmm.
hard to see where he's going to fall. And like he's been doing really good in a lot of the store championships. I mean, he's been top 8ing, top 4ing.
Hmm.
You went against the Luke in the final. I'm just surprised at how well he's been doing. It's kind of like, ooh, where
I
did Luke
beat
come
the
from?
Lukes. I beat 2. It's good.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they were still there.
They were there. They were there. They were there, and they're good
Yeah,
players.
yeah,
They're good play. I mean,
yeah,
like shielding echo based defender is just kind of crazy. Like that play
yeah.
is so
Absolutely,
good. Um,
absolutely.
yeah, I just feel like everyone's going to be running disabling Fang fighters, and so if you play a Luke's lightsaber, it's going to get Fang fightered. If you put a shield on, Fang fightered. Um, there's a lot of upgrade hate. Like even like people might be running stuff like power failure. But we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll
I don't
see.
think I don't think you can play at this point unless there's another card that gets spoiled that allows you to really do a lot with keeping your upgrades on. You can't play lightsabers. You can't play
Hmm.
anything that costs more than one resource, and not even that really. I mean, you really just need to play stuff that like experience tokens and shields. Like those are okay still that are
Yeah.
given to you by cards. But I think
Or
like just actually trying to play an upgrade like a lightsaber or something, which really sucks, but it is what it is.
yeah, where his ability is good, I think, is against the bounty decks. If you just shield all your guys up and
Could be.
they're super reliant on their bounties and killing your guys,
Yeah.
then that's gonna stop them from doing their bounties. So that's where it could be good.
Yeah, but they're gonna probably have waylay in that deck, so they'll just waylay and then kill you.
Uh, Waylay,
Things
I
like
don't
that.
believe works with bounties, but takedown would. Um, so there you go.
Oh, because yeah, if you waylay it gets rid of the bounty too, wouldn't it? Yeah, yeah, I know about
Yep.
that. But take down, yeah. Or you
Top
play an
six.
infiltrator skill or something like
Top six. Top six.
that.
I'd
Yep.
cheer it.
I got
I'd cheer
Tarkin.
it. Tarkin at 6.
Sure, no.
Okay. Cheer it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tarkin's abilities that experience tokens are just good. They're just good all around. I don't know. him just be able to give
Yeah.
up experience tokens like that.
hmm
I just think in this next set can be really good.
It's a good ability. It's a good ability for
He's
sure.
an, I've always thought he just was really good character. He just needs more cards. Like he just needs more
hmm
cards. If he had
No,
better cards and more
no, he
cards,
does not need more cards. The green villain has all the cards, Coach. I hate to tell you.
no, but I mean more specific his cards, more specific Tarkin cards that kind of, and I think there's some
More
good Tarkin
Imperials.
cards coming out in the next set. Yeah,
More Imperials. Yeah.
yeah,
Sure
more
it.
Imperial cards. Yeah,
It's a similar thing to Luke with the bounties, right? You can buff the guy +2 so they don't collect their bounty that phase. And also like against aggro, if aggro becomes a big thing, like if Sabine's still great, the Kylo Ren is great, and a couple other aggro leaders, Grand Inquisitor is great. If you plop down a Sentinel, uh, and either that turn or the next turn you just give it its +2 for the phase, that's pretty good. What are you smiling at?
what was that? Plop down a Sentinel. I wonder who can do that.
Chewbacca.
Oh, maybe
Pop
another
down a
hero we
Sentinel
talk about
and
here.
give it +2. Dude, I did I gave Chewbacca I like Chewbacca's ability. I like Chewbacca's ability. I'm saying like you make your Echo based defender a 4/5 or whatever, or your
Yeah,
I don't even know. Your Cloud City Wingguard if you play that. Make that a 2/6. Yeah, look at that.
yeah,
Give your
yep,
Bright
yep,
Hope
yep,
10 health. Like if aggro
yep.
becomes a thing, I think Turret's actually somewhat uniquely positioned to counter aggro.
Could be. Yeah, we'll see what
And
happens. But
is
yeah,
able to he might be the guy if he had like 6 health or whatever, so he just couldn't get
yeah,
takedown, then he'd be a lot better. But takedown kind of
yeah,
screws Turret. Anyways,
big time.
you ready for the top 5, Coach? Top 5?
I'm ready for
Top
top five. Here
5.
we go.
Top 5. Who'd you have
My
at
top
5?
five. Luke Skywalker at number 5, coming in hot.
Okay.
Number 5.
Okay. I
Again,
had
again,
Grand
these shields
Inquisitor.
are good.
This is where I put Grand
Was there that
Inquisitor.
high? Oh man, I don't know.
Just with some of the
I
cards.
don't. Maybe.
Dude, here's the
I
thing.
just I
His
just
the
I
ability
just hate doing. I just wish it was 1 damage, not 2 damage.
that
Like that 2 damage just seems
I don't know.
kind of rough, honestly.
Grand Inquisitor has a good ability. It's just he deploys on 6. Like his ability is so great to defeat aggro, right? They play a Battlefield Marine. Okay, I'll play a Scout Bike Pursuer, ready it, kill your Battlefield Marine. Like that's a great aggro counter right there. Because it's
Yeah,
basically he's great at creating washes. Basically, is what he's really good at doing, which is great into aggro. But like he's red, so he's in a aggro deck, an aggression deck. But he deploys on 6, so
yeah,
he's not an aggro deck. And then like I
yeah, for
he's just
sure.
so weird. I like his ability. I think it's good, just not on the body and the stats and the deploy that Grand Inquisitor has. And
Yeah,
new
yeah.
cards.
I get you saying.
Jango Fett, Chrysanthemum. They're looking spicy. They're looking
It's
spicy.
true. It's true. True. Get some grits on that. Yeah, guys, some grit. And, yeah, and there's some grits coming out. I know that. So we'll see.
Jango
Number
Fett
4.
doesn't have grit. Chrysanthemum has
No,
pseudo grit.
I'm not saying. Yeah, pseudo grit. I'm just saying some of the other guys with grit.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
seen
playing.
some guys coming out
I'm
in the
just
new set
playing.
with grit, and you can
Mm-hmm.
grit those guys up.
Yep.
Feel like that's. I feel like he's got great ability for grit if you can get a good grit guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway, I feel like the break points on grit are always so easy to kill the guy off. Like I feel like the break points aren't quite right. So like for him especially, like so many guys with grit, they become like a 5, but now they're really just a 3, and everything swings for 3, so you just kill them off. Like
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, maybe
not.
they kill your guy off, but it's not a great trade into it,
Mhm.
kind of thing. So
Yeah.
anyway,
A lot of times
so
you
number
just
4,
ready him to die. Okay, top 4. Let's do
yeah,
let's do a
exactly.
quick recap. I have Han Solo, Boba Fett, Krennic, and Leia left in no particular order. You have I don't know.
I have
You have
I have Boba
Han
Fett, Leia, Han Solo, and Chewie left.
and
Those 4,
Chewie.
right?
Okay,
The top
so we
4.
have 3 of the same top 4, except you decided to put Chewie in your top 4 because you just had to. Okay,
Because his raw ability, I think, is really good.
I think it's pretty good too.
Yeah. So number
That's the
four.
only thing good
My number
about
four.
Chewbacca. That's it. Number 4,
My
who'd
number
you have?
four is Chewie.
You had Chewie.
Again, I
This
think
is where I put Krennic. This is where I put Krennic.
see, like again, I think Chewie. The problem with Chewie is he's blue, and we're not
Yep.
talking about the color so much. Although going to the next set, we're getting some blue stuff, and I think his worst side is his other side, where it's a 2-9. I've always said if he's a 3-9, a 4-9, something like that, he would be so much better. But again, there again, we're talking just the front side, and Sentinel just shuts down aggro hard. And if you can put out some really good,
Mhm.
some low cost things up front to get him out, and there's the Razor Crest is coming out, so you can Razor Crest stuff back onto
Yeah.
Chewie. I think that
Yeah.
could be a thing.
Razor
I don't
Crest.
know. We'll
Yeah.
see what happens, but I feel like this set maybe make Chewie a little more viable, and certainly his front side ability is going to be a lot better.
Yeah, I think, like I said earlier, I think his ability is good. His problem is if he gets into a late game punching match with a villain control deck, he's gonna lose every time because there's no Devastator, there's no Relentless, there's no Avenger. Like you have Home One and Redemption and Luke Skywalker, and that's pretty much it. So like you get into that, you're throwing punches phase, and villain's just gonna win every time, and you can't aggro because Chewie doesn't do aggro. So I
Well,
don't know. I don't know.
what I'm wondering is if aggro is going to be like with the new Kylo coming out and and Lando coming out and some of these, it looks like we got more aggro decks than just Sabine. Because I mean,
Hmm.
Sabine's kind of it. Sabine, Leia are kind of aggro decks, right? And so it
Yep.
feels like we don't have a lot of, and I feel like Leia's not that viable. So if Sabine still stays strong, which she very well could, I don't think she is, but she could, and then Kylo comes out swinging better than Sabine or as good as Sabine, then we got two very
Yeah.
aggro decks. Then you can't put a lot of that. You're not going to put the Devastators in. You're not going to be putting a lot of those big hate cards in. And Chewie might come out and be able to do something. I don't know, because like if he can stay alive and he starts swinging for 13, 14 damage, all he has to do is swing out of base once. And he can win a game.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Sure. Yeah.
We'll see.
Moving on.
All right,
Top
all
3.
right, number three.
Number 3. So
All right,
we
so
all have
are we gonna guess? Are we gonna guess
Han
each
Light.
other's top three?
We already did, but let's do it again. I
Oh
was
yeah,
I had Chewie at 3, right? Yeah, I got that
yeah.
right.
You gave me. Yep. No, he's number four for me.
Oh
You
no,
got that
dang
wrong.
it. Yeah. Okay. Well, I have Boba in your top 3 somewhere. I got that right.
Yeah, I
That
got
was
your. I had Boba in your top three.
You had
I had
Boba in
Han in
my
your
top
top
3,
three,
and then you had
and I
Sabine.
had Sabine in top three, which I
Sabine,
was wrong.
but you were
And you
wrong.
had for me, you had Chewie.
Chewie at 3,
Was
Boba
it
at
Boba?
2, Boba at 2, Sabine at 1.
Sabine, yeah. So far, you're only gonna get potentially one right.
Potentially 1, right? Yeah.
You're only gonna get one right because I only have three characters left, and one of them's Boba. All
Anyways,
right, so
number 3.
number three is gonna be Leia.
Oh yeah, that's why I
I just
put
think her
Boba
ability
Fett.
is good.
I love her ability. That's why I
Like
have her
be
at
able to swing at
1
two
or 2.
characters, just go off on characters. I mean, there's so many cards where you can combo with her.
Verbal
I
assault.
just feel like she just needs like if she gets more cards, but she's probably gonna get some of this deck where she can just use that ability, just abuse that ability even more. Man, like swinging for 15 damage sometimes, like it's just crazy. Like out of hand 15 damage, that's just nuts.
Hmm.
Because she can swing like 15 times with 15 different characters with her ability and stuff. I mean, it's just crazy what she can do. Some of the combos she can do. So yeah, I think she's gonna be good.
Yeah, her ability. It's just such a great ability because you'll have like you know 10 or 12 or 11 or whatever damage on your base, and you'll be like, if he claims initiative and has Rebel Assault, U-Wing Reinforcement, Fleet Lieutenant,
Yeah,
or name 10 cards, he's going to
yeah,
win the game. So you have to claim the initiative, even though your base is still halfway alive because you can just snap
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
Um,
yeah. And she's kind of
Definitely
the only
one
one
of
that can do that. I
yeah,
mean, she's
yeah,
like it. I mean, who else can just like swing for 15? Like just off rip.
and
That's
not
just
no one.
crazy.
Yeah, and I'd
Yeah,
Boba
but
Fett
she's
at
gonna be.
3. Mainly, I he's 3, so obviously he's really good. I think he's
Yeah,
great, but it's just the control decks. I think with their leaders like Bosk, um, and like all the bounty leaders and like the Mandalorian, the ones that are contingent on your opponent having units, make it so control decks are better, and Boba Fett kind of slots into that same category as like Bosk, as like the Mandalorian, who needs your opponent to play units. But if you're playing the all event deck, which is good, I think, into this meta, also like Cad Bane, like a lot of the leaders that have been revealed for set 2 so far are reliant on your opponent playing units. And if you just don't play units, those leaders are not good. Same with Boba Fett.
Yeah, I think the only caveat with that is obviously we're going to have some more aggro heroes that are going to be coming out. People are going to play them. People like them.
Yep,
Some of the heroes coming out, and so
he's good.
Bubba's going to capitalize on those, obviously, and he'll have more ships. Right now, I think one of the things that sucks about Bubba is it doesn't have really great ships. I mean, he does have the Slave One, not the thing, not the,
Here
it's
we go.
not the, yeah, it's the
Fire
it's
spray.
the Slave One.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the fire spray. That's what it's called. That's the make and model, the name of the ship. The thing that Bubba Fett called it, in case you're wondering, it's called Slave One. All right. So enough of that. But
Yeah,
yeah, like but he's getting
High
some good
Defender's
ships
good.
coming out. I feel like, yep. I think there's going to be some good ships coming out for him that TIE Defender's not bad.
Cartel
There's
Turncoat,
good
whatever
ships.
it's called.
There's good ships, but I think there's, but I think he still lacks in space. That's one thing that he kind of lacks right now. But I
I
think
do agree there.
that's gonna pick up, I think, in this next set. So yeah, and like just resources. Anytime you get resources in any game,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
broken, it's just good. So yeah.
Yeah, if there weren't these stupid control decks, he might be
Oh yeah,
number one.
maybe. Yeah.
But at
All right, number two.
number two, I had Princess Leia,
Yeah,
and you had let me guess,
I had
Boba
old
Fett.
Han Solo.
Oh, you suck!
Han Solo,
Dang
baby.
it!
I just think with this new smuggle mechanic, like
Yeah,
Han's just gonna. I think
he's my
he's just
number
gonna go
one.
off. Honestly. I
He's
just
my number
honestly think
one.
he's just gonna like. Again, I think because of the smuggle mechanic with Boba Fett and Han Solo, these guys that are playing in heavy into resources. I just feel like, man, that's gonna play into there, and it seems like a good mechanic, man. When you can just pull any card
Hmm.
out of your resource pile and play it, and just put another one in to replace it, that just seems really good. And especially with Han's ability, where he can ramp up to resources, pull something out of
Oh yeah.
your.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, I mean, just be able to like, and it's not only that, but you also get like a free mulligan, which is really good, right? Because it's like, okay, uh, I have a handful of really good cards, and I don't want to resource one of these because then I lose it in my deck because I want to play it later. But now you can play it, potentially as a smuggle mechanic with Han Solo. So
Yeah. Or you
I don't know.
just
I
go
think he's going to be really good.
Lando. Yeah,
Orlando, yeah,
Orlando. Yeah, I think we just touched on Leia. Leia's great. I love her ability. It's fantastic. Um, well,
yeah, yeah.
I'd Han it.
Make
Let's
his
just
defenses.
you had you had Han at two. I had Han. Let's just go to number one. I had Han obviously, and you had Boba Fett.
Yeah, yeah, Boba
Um,
Fett. Yep, yeah,
Han Solo. Okay, his ability, it does take an action, and he is kind of slow. That is a problem with him, and he is kind of susceptible to the ECL battalion thing if you don't know how to play around it. But that ability is always good. Let's ramp up and play a bigger unit. That is good. And I'm going to point out a really cool play. If that Cornelius Evazan guy, the 3/3 2 costs with a shield, when you kill him, you ready 12 resources. If he ever becomes a thing, this is what you're going to do. You're going to play ECL Han and Pack Rogue Operative. They're going to play their guy. You're going to Han ability. Put a card down. ECL your Rogue Operative. Smack the guy. Ready your resources. And play another 3-drop. You're going to have a Rogue Operative and a 3-drop. And they're going to have nothing on their board. And you're going to win the game. How
yeah,
about that one?
yeah,
How about that one?
yeah,
How about
yeah.
that one?
That's a good play. It's a good plays. Good plays.
Good plays.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, yeah. What is it? You know, I just think anytime special plays, special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime anytime this kind of stuff, like any resource management, like can really bring out resources when you need it and all that kind of way. Uh,
Yeah.
I think they're just good. They're going to be top of the meta, and I think there's just going to get better with this next set. So at least I hope so. And I think especially Boba Fett being a bunny hunter,
Yeah, Boba
and I
Fett
think
at
a lot of
one.
the smuggling mechanics are going
Yeah.
to play into Han Solo. So we'll see what happens. But
Yeah, well, there you have it. Coach technically won the guessing part of it. If you are, keeping
yes,
score. But it's
that's
because
right.
coach has not won a store showdown. We better let him win something, you
Yeah,
know.
I've only won a national championship, so that's no big
Yeah,
deal.
it doesn't count. It doesn't count.
Absolutely
That
counts. I got the
that
trophy and
does
everything. I polish it
no,
every day.
that doesn't count. Well, any final closing thoughts for us, coach? You got anything else? Anything else you want to say to
No,
people?
just enjoy these last dregs of this last set, the first set, and looking forward
I
to the
know.
next set. It'll be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to cracking some more pads, playing some sealed,
Oh yeah.
even though I hate sealed because it's so random whether you win or lose if you get a good hero and a good set of cards or whatever. But it'll be interesting. It's still fun to crack backs. It's still fun to go out and play.
Kickbacks.
So
Oh yeah.
yep.
Yeah. Well, guys, Crack Dice Gaming viewers, feel free to like the video, comment why we're wrong, and subscribe. And as always, keep your blaster. Come on, coach,
In
in
your
your
holster.
holster, and don't be a meta slave.